Hello, TSP. Happy Sunday. This is the weekly Lenormand reading for the week of January 26th, 2020. It is almost the end of January already. It's going by so quickly. Hope everyone's doing well this beautiful Sunday and that you're having an amazing weekend. I am in tune, asking Lenormand what message or messages does the Sacred Path group need to know to help guide your week this week. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the Sacred Path YouTube channel. And if you want to know when the next video is up, hit that bell and you will be notified as soon as it is posted, okay? And thank you so much for subscribing. We're slowly growing, slowly. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's see what Lenormand has for us this week. Okay, we have the dog, the path. This is also called the decisions card. And the fox. I chuckle a little bit because there goes that fox again. Let me make sure that they are centered and that you can see these cards really well. Well, there goes that fox. Interesting that this card showed up in last week's flip, last week's Lenormand reading. Let me tell you what these cards mean, and then I will tell you what the messages that I get. I'll tell you what I see. The central theme of this flip is the path card. Now, the path card is about our choices and options, our life path, and the decisions that we make. Okay. Now, there are many different versions of the Lenormand deck, variations of the Lenormand deck. I keep moving them because it seems like they're like diagonal or crooked. Hopefully you guys are seeing these correctly. Okay, there are different variations of the Lenormand deck. Okay, this is the Gilded Reverie deck, and in this deck, this card is called the Decisions card, and it depicts a stairwell, a flight of stairs, and two doors, representing the decisions that we make, and the stairs representing our life path and our journeys. Let's see. I think, yeah, I do. I have the original deck. Every once in a while, I like to pull out the traditional deck. This deck is a traditional deck that I learned how to read. I've had these for years, did my first reading with this deck. These images are the traditional images. Let me see here of in Lenormand. Let me try one more again. I'm looking for the card that is, let's see here. There we go. All right. This card here is called the Crossroads card. And this is the original image of a crossroads and the road representing our path. And then we see the branches of the road representing the decisions and options, the options that we make and that we have and the decisions that we make. The crossroads, the decisions card, it's also called the path. I have another deck that depicts a labyrinth, also representing our path and the decisions that we make. They all mean the same thing. So you may hear those three words interchangeably: the crossroads, the path card, or the decisions card. Either way, the central theme of this flip is about options that are before us and the decisions that we make. Now, what I like about this version and this depiction of the path, aka decisions card, is that depending on the position of this card, this could either mean we're going along our path and we're faced with a decision, Or, depending on the position of the card and what's before and behind it, we have made a decision and are now coming down the stairs, and the result happens after this card. Okay, so it could be either. Nonetheless, this card, the path card, the decisions card, is about our life path. There we go with that diagonal again. Our life path and our journeys and the choices, decisions that we make. Okay. And then we have the dog. We've seen this cutie pie before. The dog is man's best friend. So the dog represents friendship, okay? Represents friendship. And then think about the characteristics of a friend, also the characteristics of man's best friend. They are loyal and they are trustworthy and they are helpful, okay? And they are loyal. So this card embodies the energy of those characteristics. This card could also mean a pet. It could be a dog or any pet. This also represents pets. But aside from the literal meaning of a dog, this is about friendship, loyalty, trustworthiness, and help. The dog just loves its master. Like unconditional love is something else that I want to say here with the dog, okay? And then the familiar fox. Now, if you watched last week's reading, you will remember that the fox showed up in the exact same position last week. And I wrote a whole blog post about it. So I'm going to drop the link to last week's reading, which talks a lot about the fox, in the description below. I'm going to pick this up again because, again, I'm just going to remind those of you who did see it last week. The fox, highly intelligent animal, is cunning and shrewd and sly, and basically is seizes the opportunity and waits for the right time to do so. They sit back in the cut is what I say, and they take in information. They keep that information filed away in their mental filing cabinets until it could be of use to them for the benefit of self. Everything that the fox does is for the benefit of self. And all of those things that I told you can be a positive benefit of self, like an entrepreneur who works for self. You have to embody most of those characteristics that I just mentioned: being intelligent, knowing when to seize the opportunity and when to take action. This also can be, and that is the duality of this card, seen as a negative that would go with narcissism and selfishness and opportunists, master manipulators. Something else that I want to say about the fox that I didn't say last week or in the blog post last week is that, well, I did say it in the blog post that they are night creatures. They, during the day, they are planning and processing and planning some more, so that at the dark of night, in the dark of night, they can seize whatever it is, the opportunity. In this card, the opportunity is this hen it's looking back at. And so what's also interesting is the position of the fox again at the end and how it's looking back. So what it's looking back on is very telling, because the fox is also a very suspicious creature and questions everything. So when you see the fox could be someone else that crosses your path or that is in your life. It could be you. Okay, the Lenormand could be telling you to beware. Last week's last week's blog post, the title was "Beware of the Fox, Be Like the Fox," because Lenormand could also be telling you to take on the characteristics of the fox. Okay, so there's the review there. Now that was a long explanation of what the cards mean, but I find it very interesting, this combination this week. So let me tell you what I see here. Okay, so with the dog representing friendship, loyalty, trustworthiness, um, and I'm seeing the fox is looking back on a decision in regards to this person. Now, perhaps there is a suspicion about the loyalty or the friendship of this person who is presenting themselves as someone that is loyal. Perhaps there's a suspicion about that, and this week you'll be faced with a decision on what to do about that. Okay, what to do about that person. Okay, or reading it backwards. Remember, I read it frontwards, I read it backwards, and I bookend. Or there could be a person who offers help for ulterior motives. Okay, there is a hidden agenda with this friendship, and you have to make a decision whether to, I guess, accept this help or not accept the help, depending on if that decision is for your greater good. Again, there is a person that will cross your path who may offer help and assistance, perhaps support, but it's for ulterior motives. Remember, I told you the fox is a suspicious creature. It questions everything. So this week, kind of survey your life. Keep your eyes open. That's another thing that the fox does, because the fox is all about self-preservation and self-benefit. The fox is going to keep his eyes open and trust his instinct. Another thing the fox does is it's 2 or 3 or 4 steps ahead already. That's exactly what you need to do. Embody those characteristics and listen to your higher self in regards to the decision that you need to make in regards to this. On the flip side, what I see is that there could be a decision that is maybe considered a selfish decision, but then you get support from that decision. I say you because I'm thinking that this is a positive thing. By the way, we have a positive card, a neutral card, and a negative card, so it's even. There is no weight, either negative or positive to this. So this is more of a kind of a heads up and keep your eyes open for events that happen this week that involve friendship, loyalty, and help. Kind of keeping your eye open about that, decisions that need to be made. Something else that I see is a need to make a decision for self, irregardless of what your friend may think. So this person may not support it, or they may, but you're making this decision for you. The words "choose you" come to mind when I think of this. Selfish, but not necessarily selfish in a negative light. Selfish in a positive light. The decision that you make is for your greater good, and you will get support with that. Okay. I see so much more. As I say every week, these 3 cards have so many different meanings and can materialize in your lives in many different ways. So it's interesting, and I do appreciate the messages that I receive every week. And I have to tell you that last week's Lenormand reading, that also had the fox, I've gotten the most uh, replies and comments about in my inbox and in my email. And my friends are texting me, and it resonates on so many levels. I find it interesting, after all that shuffling and everything, that the fox is back. So the universe is speaking. Remember that messages come from spirit, okay? And the answers that we seek, we already have. The journey is to connect to those answers. So if you're watching this video, this reading this week, perhaps the message is coming through this reading to you. Keep your eyes open. Choose self if need be. Watch out for people who are just offering help to you, and you get that inkling, that gut feeling, which is your higher self, of I'm wondering why they're doing this. There's must be some ulterior motive. Just take on the energy of the fox and listen to your higher self, and you will see how this materializes in your life. I will write up that blog post and put additional meanings and messages in this week's blog post. If you want to read it, I will drop the link to this week's blog post on a TLotus blog. I'm sorry, a TLotus Thought, the blog. I'm all discombobulated, y'all. The link will be in the description below, okay? And I hope this resonates with you. And if it has, please leave a comment or message under this video when it is done. And if you are interested in a one-on-one Lenormand reading with me, TLotus, clear and concise, helping you to connect to the answers that you seek, please visit my website at thesacredpath11.com/lotus readings. The link will be in the description below, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I want to wish you peace, love, and light. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and an amazing week ahead.